Note to self, never have high expectations for a movie. Today, I'm talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a movie that continues the storylines of Doctor Strange and the multiverse and is directed by Sam Raimi. With the multiverse now realized, Doctor Strange must protect a young girl from forces of evil. Months ago, when the trailer was dropped for this film after Spider-Man No Way Home, I still wasn't looking forward to this movie that much, but people were hyping it up saying there's going to be so many great cameos and that there was loads of potential for this movie, so then I heard all of that and changed my opinion. I put this movie in my top 10 most anticipated of the year, and since then, I've really been looking forward to this one. But then I watched the movie and, this was one of the most disappointing MCU experiences I've ever had. Maybe a lot of that is because my expectations were too high for what I thought I was going to see in the movie. But also, this is a movie about the multiverse. It should be a walk in the park. You step up the home plate and hit a home run with ease because of the concept. There are endless possibilities, and yet Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness never becomes a fun movie. I feel like there was a lot of studio interference though. Sam Raimi probably never saw his true vision. What I will say is the first act is good. It continues the Doctor Strange storyline perfectly, and it sets up the second and third acts quite well. I'll admit, I was having fun in the first act. It was good to see Doctor Strange, Juan, Christine all back here in the film. But what's most surprising is that the movie goes off the rails the moment we get into the multiverse concept. From there on out, the second and third acts are no longer fun. It feels like a chore to watch this movie. Because for whatever reason, they introduce all these MacGuffins and spells in the second act, but it's very convoluted and hard to follow at times. I am sure a lot of that is to blame on Marvel, because they probably did not want this movie being any longer than 2 hours and 6 minutes. What a stupid runtime for a movie of this magnitude. The film should have been at least 2.5 hours. And since the film isn't that long, the Multiverse of Madness is one of the most rushed MCU projects thus far. Instead of expanding on the universe and allowing the audience to explore what the multiverse has to offer, the movie chooses to focus a majority of its runtime on Doctor Strange and part of his backstory, as well as Wanda and her kids. And because of that, this movie feels like it's just serving as an epilogue to Wandavision, a show I did not like whatsoever. I'm not even sure why it's called the Multiverse of Madness if the multiverse is not the main focus. Sure, it's there, the characters switch universes and they reference it, but a majority of this movie chooses to focus on Wanda's story, a story I don't care about. I'm kind of tired of her character. I never liked her character, but they continue to focus on her. There's this new character too that the movie puts a lot of emphasis on, but I wasn't a fan of the actress. She wasn't that good in the movie, and the character was uninteresting. I wish they did the easier thing and focused on the multiverse, the cool concept that this entire phase has been building up to, but no, let's just focus more on Wanda and this new boring girl. I thought another point of the film was to tie up loose ends from Doctor Strange, and sure, they tie up some loose ends, like for instance with Christine, but then there's these other characters where you think they're going to go in this great direction with them, and nope, they drop the ball with them too. What's even the point of having some of these characters in the movie if you're not going to do anything with them? The loose ends are still not tied up from the last movie. And of course, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I feel like they never go deep enough with the multiverse concept. This should have been so easy. You have everything on your plate, endless possibilities, and yet they don't really do anything with what they have. I just don't get it. Sure, there's some cameos in the movie, but that's not enough for me to say this is a good time at the theater and worth the price of admission. In my opinion, they really dropped the ball with this one. It's a rushed film. They don't focus enough on the multiverse. They opt to focus more on boring characters who I don't care about anymore. They don't expand on the multiverse nearly as much. The movie should have been closer to 3 hours. The first act is good, but then the movie gets too convoluted convoluted for its own good. This was wasted potential and could have been so much more. I am giving Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness a 50%. Disappointed is really the only word I have to say about this film. It's not the worst MCU movie. I still think Black Widow is the worst, but it's definitely not in the top 20. It's somewhere up there with the original Avengers movie and Age of Ultron. All of those stinkers, Iron Man 2. I mean, it's just not a good time. I wish this movie was so much better. Of course, though, guys, if you also happen to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. And of course, as always, if you are new to my channel, click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.